Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to this video. It's day 2 here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. Yesterday in our Supercar Sound Off, this car won, this Ford Mustang. Today we've got an entirely new batch of cars in the Sound Off, and at the end of this video we'll find out who wins with the loudest cheer from everybody here. But before that, it's time for the first of 3 demonstration runs.
He's going to give it another shot. That didn't quite work. Let's give it a go. Here we go. Find the power down. And away we go, ladies and gents. The first of our cars. Now he's got another opportunity here to get launch control engaged. Quite a bit of pressure on the drive shaft. Quite a few people watching. Let's see if he's managed to do it next up. We have our beautiful Aston Martin DB9. Now the engine in this is mounted at the front of the car rather than at the back. That beautiful V12 engine gives just such silky smooth power, perfect for crossing the continent or indeed taking it on the racetrack. Well, we've had 6 cylinders, we've had 12. Now we're going to meet in the middle. You've got your eye in then, you know this very well.
I'm just getting more practice in, I think, for the main event, which maybe next year, who knows?
Oh, I like it. Right then, let's hear our Italian V8 sing, shall we? Those revs and the exhaust just opening itself up there to give us that beautiful there we go then. Now we move on to our A110. We really have got a collection. We've had 6 cylinders, we've had 12 cylinders, we've had 8 cylinders. Now we have 4 cylinders, but don't let that lower number of cylinders put you off. This is still an incredibly potent car. Told you it was potent. That originally had the engine out of Megane RS in it, but it has this BMW i8. Now, these originally had in the region of 360, 370 horsepower. This one now has 421. That extra 1 is very important. Combination of petrol and electric working together. Small busy engine in the back, 3 cylinders, 1.5 litres, and of course the electric motors are working together. 421 horsepower. It's hard to believe that the i8 has been out now for in the region of 10 years. It's still such a clean design. Now coming up next for you, we are starting our next batch with a Ferrari 360. We've got a few others coming to join us as well. And while we gather the cars together at the bottom, now's a great opportunity to tell you about your opportunity to be a passenger in one of these cars. How does that sound? Would you like that later to gents? Fancy being a passenger in one of these cars? Well, you might just be able to. Head over to the Sporting Bears stand. They are raffling off passenger rides in the next 2 demo runs. Beautiful car, the Porsche 911, the GT3 RS looks even better in my opinion. The Porsches always get traction, they never ever break traction. Even yesterday in the pouring rain, they will not break traction. Up comes the brick then, the V12 singing away in the front of our Aston Martin. Such an elegant design, and the gods of thunder coming out the exhaust by the sound of it. Next then, looking down our main straight, I'm sure it's for our Ferrari or our Alpine coming up next. But that Striller V8 tells me that it is indeed the F430. V8 mounted right in the middle of this car. And very elegantly done too. Like the number plates as well. Next we have our 4-cylinder, but have a listen to the mods on this block. Started out, we have red flags out as well. Now, we've got the checkered flag showing in front of our final car of this match. Up it comes. So slightly squirrely there, that 1.8 litre inline four with the turbo been tuned to 310 horsepower. And looking down, we've got our BMW i8 then to complete the pack. This actually has more power than the vehicle that you just saw, but has a smaller engine. But of course, it's got aid of electric motors, and what a beautiful package it is too. The i8 still looks clean even today, 10 years after it was first seen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please invite you to put your hands together and invite the second batch of cars to the demonstration room. Now then, what a beauty! I love the detail of the sunglasses matching the car. That's why I have to come and see you. That is fantastic. Did you get those because of the car?
They are Ferrari sunglasses.
Of course they are. Well, let's see what your actual Ferrari can do, shall we? Lovely howl coming from the V8 in the middle of the car there. Next up, we have the R8. This one, so it's got the V8 tucked in the middle of it. In the RS4. But where the RS4, of course, offers practicality, this is far more sporty. Anticipation builds, the checkered flag drops, and away we go. All those years ago, do you remember when iRobot first came out? We got a sneak glimpse of what Audi were going to bring out in terms of their supercar. Now then, if you were here a few weeks ago, you would have probably been at Simply Japanese, where you may have seen something like this, a car that many of us would love to own. This, of course, is the Nissan GTR. Launch control there, just surprisingly, very good bathroom from the exhaust too. Let's give it another go in the centre. First time that Nissan use a V6 in there rather than a straight 6. Now then, we move to the TVR, and if you have a look at the number plate, it'll give you a clue about this car. It is quite loud. Stop the red limiter is up. Ladies and gents, give that guy a round of applause. That was proper. That Porsche brought out, it was actually limited, it was so with the roof up that it was down. Interestingly, this one, not so much. Looked great, this car yesterday, even in the rain. Porsche's philosophy that a car should stop twice as fast as it can accelerate. And I'm sure we'll be seeing the perfect example later, because we've got a Taycan Turbo coming onto the track later on for you today. One of the quickest cars we've had here at Beaulieu. Just looking through the list of entries, we've got some really interesting cars coming up. We've actually got a Mark 1 Ford Escort coming up for you later, but it's not got the running gear you'd expect. I'll give you a clue, it's got a flat 4 engine rather than what you might expect. it goes a little deeper than that. You would have seen it if you were with us yesterday in the Sound Off, and the owner begged and pleaded with to squeeze her in to our demonstration run so she can demonstrate the power of her mighty Escort. But now let's go back to the track. It's undeniable, the shrill of the V8 from a Ferrari. Very nicely done too, madam. No, I'm sorry, you can't have another go. Go back to the paddock. You can have a go later. Lovely to hear the V8 burbling away. We've got another V8 coming up for you now. Such an interesting, different sound you get from the arm is the 360. This is one of the Sporting Bears cars. It's got that 4.2 litre V8. Fabulous. Can you imagine having that engine in a normal road-going saloon or estate? I was lucky enough to drive an RS4 earlier this year. It blew my mind. There we are, the GTR now running really well. Let's see what she can do pulling away here. What I didn't get though as it was going away from it was the sound of that forced induction. Lovely sound of the turbo whistling away there, looking down towards the bottom. I mean, you'll hear this car before you see it. They had no driver aids, no ABS, no traction control, no airbags or anything like that. It's all down to the driver. You get it wrong, your fault. Next then is our Porsche. Getting back on the power again into second gear, coming up to the top of our track there. The Spider is such a subtle car. The more you look at it, the more subtle little details that you see. Now then, ladies and gents, it's ready for our next batch, but my question is, are you ready for the next batch? Would you like to see some more? Yeah! Alright then, put your hands together. Let's welcome our Ford Mustang to the start. However, oh, there's a frown on Sophie's face here, which means bad things. It means the Mustang's not allowed to move. The frown has gone. The Mustang's here. Ladies and gents, put your hands together for me again. Here's our V8 Mustang. Now, our Mustang drivers always put on a good show. That Coyote V8 has performed really well, both on track and also in our sound offs as well. Just sat here at the top of the track, you can just hear it burbling away. It's almost waiting to be unleashed. The flag drops and away we go. Yes, proper noise. Now then, I'm sure many of you have seen one of these before. Maybe some of our younger audience aren't old enough to remember these. This has got, in my opinion, one of the best engines that has ever gone into my production. It's a bit foggy down there, clouds a little bit, however we're not expecting any rain.
It's
is not here, is she? She's left. Now you've got one of my favourite engines. You've got 2 litre 16 valve Rex up in this. It's not actually got that much power compared to some of the stuff here, but then it's also not got much weight either, has it?
No, not at all. It's as much fun as you can have with your pants on.
I'm glad you said that. Right then, let's see what that looks like, shall we? Those 4 cylinders literally sucking the air in. Now, I don't think our driver will get away with doing a burnout quite as big as that. And speaking of grip and go, of course, Lotus, the old mantra of just add lightness. Oh, I'm taking a teddy bear. Is the car a bit too light? Do we need to have a little bit of ballast in there with our teddy bear? Let's see what our Lotus can do then. Engine right in the centre of this car, really is built for the track. No messing around, lovely dry conditions, just giving all the traction so we can get all of the power down. Now then, hello there, how are you, sir? Good to see you. This one has also got a 4-cylinder engine, 1.8 litres, out of the Megane RS. Now the Megane RS is a very widely acclaimed car. And here in the Alpine 810, let's see what she can do. Now, if you were to combine the 2 engines of that, you might get somewhere near the engine in this 570S. We've got a V8 in the middle of it, but we've also got 2 turbochargers on it as well. Of course, Ferrari and McLaren's arch rivals started turbocharging their cars, but McLaren did it first. So coming up for you next, once we've brought all these cars back up, we've got a Mustang, but not just any Mustang. This Mustang has got 2 turbochargers on its 5 litre V8 engine, and you've pushed the power of this to 960 horsepower.
Well, kind of.
You mean kind of? It's but while the Mustangs didn't.
That was all the way at the back.
Lots. If you want, I mean, they're your toppers. Oh, let's get our cars back up so we can get our 960 horsepower Mustang back on the track, shall we? The driver of this Mustang, who put a fantastic show on, leaving some rubber. Now, put your hands together for me, ladies and gents. Give that driver a big round of applause. Absolutely love the bike, please. That pure induction noise, just listen to that. Well, the passenger's got a smile going from ear to ear. I'm not going to repeat what the driver said. You all remember what he said. I'm sure that the passenger will now agree. Now, let's have a look down towards the bottom of the straight here. I do believe we've got our Alpine coming next. Wrong, it's our Lotus, couldn't quite see past our marshals, but again, track car designed for grip and go. Not the latest of our cars here, but of course you need to remember, if you are going to take a track toy, you do have to comply with the strict noise regulations. I dare say that Exige is one of the most fun cars you could take out on track. Next then, we're keeping the engine away from the front of the car. We're going for this Alpine. on the brakes, and I'm pretty sure he absolutely nailed that. Now, if you were to double the size of that engine, literally put two side by side, you still wouldn't be getting near this. This is our McLaren. Two turbochargers on that V8 engine sat right in the middle of the car for that fantastic weight distribution. The flag drops, away she goes. Very much hard on. Look at that, absolutely bang on. Exactly what we want. Glorious to see that too. Now, if you like the McLarens, there is a dedicated McLaren display which is by the side of the main arena, so make sure you check that out. Sophie's put the red flag down, she's now got the checkered flag and a huge smile on her face. Ladies and gentlemen, I need your help. I know I keep asking you to help me with this, but let's see what our driver says. Right, driver here, are you happy to lose some tread?
100%.
He's happy. Right then. Ladies and gentlemen, give this guy the biggest cheer and the loudest round of applause for me. Let's hear you. Does it smell a little?
It does a little bit, yeah.
That's a lovely smell it is, isn't it?
Easy.
Now, you're in an Aston Martin, sir. You must be a gentleman.
No.
If that's the right answer, I'm going to leave it up to you. Let's hear it. It's so good, but I reckon... And sat about 8 inches behind that driver's head is one of the biggest engines in production. A huge V12. It literally takes up half the car. Let's hear it. Not as loud as I was expecting, but still very well to that. Now then, I don't know what's the It is a replica, but indeed it was the same manufacturer who built all of the cars for that film that built this car right here. This one, a 5.5 litre V8. Proudly sported the same livery as that number one car in 1966. With this, it's our Chevrolet Camaro. Not just any Camaro though, this is a ZL1 or ZL1, 6.2 litre V8 with a supercharger, 650 horsepower in this. Look at this. Look at the rubber. This is actual. Look at it. just have fun over in the fields with later on. Well, we do like to put on a show, we can't do that without our drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, as our drivers come back up, please do give them a huge round of applause. Please do show your thanks by making some noise for them as they come back up the track for me on this next run-up. That Mustang was in the Sound Off yesterday. It came second. It very nearly won the Sound Off. Right then, hush falls over the Beaulieu main straight. The flag quivers in the wind. Aston Martin stand there looking, staring up the main straight. The flag drops. Hard on the brakes. Now then, let's hear. Now we've had two V8s, time to mix it up a little bit, shall we? We're going to move things up to 12 cylinders, V12 in fact, in this Lamborghini, which is indeed celebrating 16 years this year. Now we've had some Lamborghinis really howl in the past. They always make a glorious noise, but they always look like they're moving so quickly, whether they're stood still or not. Looking down then, who is coming up this main straight next? It is of course our Ford GT. Proudly sporting the livery of that number one car from 1966. 5.5 litre V8 in the back of that. If you go over and have a look at that car when it stood still, the build on it is amazing. Go and have a look at it. It's a beautiful piece of engineering. Now then, let's keep with the displacement. In fact, let's increase it and have a look at our Camaro, shall we? Go on, tell him that you want to burn out. Come on, cheer him on, let's hear you. Let's hear you, gents. The more noise you make, the more noise he makes. Oh, the anticipation. Together for our Camaro ZL1. Now then, let's well, if it's not Gus, it's Burton. How are you, sir? You're very well today. I'm good. Gus, we're going to be talking later on because you are here. You're our racing driver, aren't you here?
I am, yeah. I'm in a slightly different car at the moment. They wouldn't let me take my race car up.
They're not. Who said no? Sophie?
I don't know, there's some insurance problem.
I bet it's Sophie. I'll have words, don't you worry. She's the one who says no to everything. Anyway, you're in a beautiful... Is this yours?
No, it's my dad's. It's a bit more civilised than the race car. I won't be bullying it too hard. Unfortunately, it won't be as exciting as the Mustangs, but...
Is your dad here?
He is, yeah, he's watching. I've got a passenger's birthday today. I don't even know his name. What's your name, mate?
Charlie, well, happy birthday, Charlie. I mean, you're in a fantastic place. I'm sure your dad's not watching, and let's be honest, what's he going to do? Go out there and enjoy yourself, mate. Just there, causing a family rift. Well, why not? It's Supercar Weekend. Let's see what our vanquish can do, shall we? I'll tell you what he did. Put the brakes on over there. Hello, you. How are we doing today? You well? This year, just for a bit of fun. Just for a bit, I like that. I've got this year just for a bit of fun. Right, go and line your T3 up, shall we? Now, a couple of years ago, this guy turned up in a brand new Lamborghini. I mean, it was brand new. It got 3 miles on the clock. And despite being just revved it to the nth degree. Next up then, this is not just any R8. This is one of only 10 in the UK. 222 of these were built to celebrate 10 years of the V10. And this is just one of 10. You go ahead. 40 original R8 had that V8 in the middle of it. This generation only had V10 Sport. Keeping the engine in the same place, but we're moving from Germany to Britain, and we're going down to the V8. Very nicely done indeed. The MP4 12 series, you see it, of course, Ferrari, responding. And so on. Before that, we had things like this, the 430, and this isn't just any. This is a Scuderia Spider 16M, 4.3 litre V8, 503 horsepower. This one built to celebrate Ferrari's 16th victory in the Formula 1 Constructors' World Championship. Very lively indeed. I did say our drivers were pushing it, didn't I? That got very lively down there indeed. I dare say that the rubber now sticking to our track. We had horrific weather yesterday, so much rain, which combined with the sap from these trees here across this tarmac did make it incredibly slippery. Now we've washed some of that away, but we're adding burnt rubber to the top of it, so it is getting a bit squirrely out there, as you saw with 16M, but well recovered from the driver. Now, coming back up the track first in Gus Burton, our racing driver who's with us this weekend. We'll find out more about later on at 2 o'clock in the main arena. We'll be able to see Gus, your dad's just had a word with me. He's not very happy, you know. Oh, to be a fly on the wall when he gets back to the paddock, eh? Right then, let's have a look down here. We have got our Porsche GT3. Usually we see this driver behind the wheel of a Lamborghini. I've been a passenger with him in the car. He's, well, for want of a better word, unhinged. He's a bit mad, that guy. We love him. is what makes Beaulieu Supercar what it is. Next up then we have our 1 of 10 V10 special editions. Just 222 of these in the world, 10 of them in the UK. We've got 1 here. Hard on the brakes there. Those exhausts absolutely huge. You could probably drive up them in something smaller. Anyway, looking down the track, we keep the engine in the same place for our McLaren. We go a little bit smaller for our twin turbo V8. Classic volcano orange paintwork, which I do believe was one of the press launch colours. Traction control working well there as well. A little bit of slip, then backing it off to put the power back through those wheels when they've got the traction. Next up then, we have our 16M. Now, when this car went down, it did get a little bit squirrely on that second part of the track, but the driver held it and recovered it well. That's what our driver's going to do, I'm sure. And the scud looking absolutely superb. Those beautiful plain naked carbon side skirts, beautiful details on there. Now, I do believe Sophie's telling me we've got one more, is it? A special. Right, okay, so we have something special coming up. Oh, yeah, I genuinely, honestly, I have no idea what this special thing is. Look, I don't like it when you smile at me because that makes me nervous. That means that you've got something planned. The last time you smiled at me like that was the first year you worked at Supercar Weekend. Do you remember what you put me in? Sinclair 5. I had to cycle it back up the super straight. If you want to watch that, by the way, you can see all the highlights. That was something like 2019, something like that. You can watch all the highlights from previous years on YouTube. Just search for Our Tip. You can watch all of the highlights from previous years there. So, it's not coming this way. Oh, it's coming in. Can you hear that, ladies and gents? So listen. See if you can hear what's coming here.
Oh no,
What are you bringing out here? Oh, you are joking. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our Lamborghini tractor. You weren't expecting that, were you, ladies and gentlemen? Put your hands together. Now, driver. Listen. No burnouts, yeah? I don't want you going too fast, yeah? Okay? Behave.
Okay, so no slicks on today then. I've left the normal tough rough terrain on.
No, the farmer will not be happy with you. No, it's wonderful to see this. Thank you so much for bringing it. And we are starting the parade where Lamborghini began. Then, of course, we've got the beautiful mirror. No, I'm not talking about you, sir. I'm sorry. But this is absolutely glorious. One of the details on this that I love is when you open the doors, you've got the bull's horns sticking up when you look at it from the front. You're going to start stuff for us. Well, go on then, keep going. You carry on that, then we move from the Miura over to the cunt. Hello sir, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
This is beautiful, this. Great to see. But they're not great to drive, are they?
Oh, they're quite easy.
You get used to it. Is it as easy as the tractor? Or we'll find out, yeah. So next we have the Countach. Now, when was the last time that you saw an LM002? Huge engine in the front of that. Next, we have the Gallardo. Great to see you too. And we continue the Lamborghinis, keeping up with the V10s, and now our V12s. Please understand and celebrate 60 years of Lamborghini. Ladies and gentlemen. And what we're going to do, we're going to parade these vehicles down to Palace House and we're going to bring them all back. So coming back up, probably Lamborghini drivers, sometimes not the most sensible. We have an enormous rush of cars and then the tractors bringing up the rear. So we're going to group them together and bring them back up. We can actually see the evolution of a Lamborghini. On the back there. Wonderful, wonderful to see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how would you like to be a passenger in one of the cars later today in one of the demos? Would you like that? Well, if you'd like the opportunity to do that, head over to Sporting Bears. They're raffling off passenger seats in 7 cars, both for the 1 o'clock run and the 3 o'clock run. All of the money raised goes to charity. If you want to buy your raffle tickets, head over to that yellow marquee, which is by the ruins over on the left-hand side of the track. Only tickets sold today are valid, so you've got a really, really good chance of winning a seat, and all of the money does indeed go to charity. They've also got an unbelievable prize that they're giving away. And genuinely, I know like us commentators and presenters, we like to exaggerate things and ham things up, but honestly, have a listen to this, okay? They are raffling off an unbelievable prize. 4 tickets to the Silverstones Festival with lunch in the British Racing Drivers Clubhouse and grandstand access at the Brooklands corner, and included in the prize is live music. You can either see the Sugar Babes or McFly. All of that for just £3 a ticket, and it's only tickets sold here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. So you've got an amazing opportunity to win that prize. What a prize it is indeed. 4 adult tickets to the Silverstone Festival with exclusive access to the British Racing Drivers Clubhouse, grandstand access at Brooklands Corners, and also live music from Sugar Babes or McFly. You can go on either 26th or 27th of August, but you need to get your tickets. Head out to Sporting Bears and all the money raised from the event today does indeed go to charity. Now looking back down the track, great to see Lamborghinis led by the Lamborghini track today. Of course, where Lamborghini began, followed by the Mura Contaction LM2. Some of the latest generation of Lamborghinis, V10s and V12s behind. To see, do not see cars like this. There is just nothing quite like the styling of Lamborghini. Those of you still around, ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to put your hands together for our Lamborghini display there, and can I ask you to extend an applause to all of our drivers and our construction. You can of course watch the trackside of Sophie. Here we go. Away, keeping the car nice and straight all the way down. Now then, we have got here a Ford Focus RS, but not just any Focus RS, this is one of 5 that will only 2 survive. turbocharged engine. Now, you saw our Lamborghini it's hold up a little bit with its grandfather, the tractor. There's nothing holding this one back now, so let's see what a V12 sounds like. And hard on the brakes to bring us back to the centre. Remember that the dream rides, you could be a passenger in one of these cars. If you bought a winning ticket, go over to get your raffle tickets and you could be in our third, which is coming up at 3 PM today. That's an 845 SEMG, 2 litre, turbocharged, inline 4 with 480 brake horsepower. Now, technically for anyone who can name what this is, probably not seen one of these before. This is an SDR V-Storm. You can see that tri-formation driver right in the centre with 2 seats just behind, flat 4 Subaru engine right behind them as well. It's very loud as well. It's been in our Supercar Sound Off as one of the loudest cars recorded previously. Let's see what he's going to do down here, engaging the launch again. Down a little bit there, but still pulling away quite nicely indeed. Now we keep to that track focus. It's not all about power. You take some of the weight out of it and really get down to just the bare minimum, and it looks something like this. Won't see much wheel spin out the back of that because there's so little weight. Weighs under a ton of that, so whatever power it lacks, you're always multiplying to get that brake horsepower per tonne rather than dividing when it's over a tonne. You can hear the V8 rumble of an AC Cobra coming up. If you're at the top of the hill, down at the bottom of the hill, you can't see what's coming, but I'll give you a sneak peek. We have got Shelby Cobra, we have a Noble, Porsche just behind them as well. I do look that we have an Aston Martin, and if it looks, if I can see it right, it's a Project 8 joining us as well. So a real interesting. Now, we've got red flags showing at the moment, which means that we have got obstruction on track. While we've got that obstruction, I just want to show you this. Let's see if you can see this. Some of you might be able to see this up at the top here. Do you know what this is? Anyone guess what this is? Yes, you got it. It's not my belt. I know I've got a small waist, but this is what remains of the 1,000 horsepower Mustang's tyre. It's completely delaminated. He's got to go back on the back of a low loader. That's commitment for you, ladies and gents. He's also said to me, please don't lose that. That's a trophy. So there you are. Now I'm looking down the track. I can see that the checkered flag is out. I'm looking to see if we can see some headlights down there, and yes, I can indeed. And we should have our McLaren joining us first. That 1.3.8 litre V8 in the middle of the car. Textbook run, that absolutely no messing around, exactly what you expect from it. Perfect, absolute textbook run, that, no screwing around, all the power down, launch control engaged perfectly, perfect run. Next up then we have our 680 brake horsepower Ford Focus RS. Now this is one of 5 test mules built, only 2 of those mules remain. Not easy system either, 2.3 litres in the front of the car, but we move now from 4 cylinders to 12. You saw the Lamborghini parade earlier, held back a little bit by that brand's grandfather. Unmistakable level of a huge capacity V12. Right in the heart of the car. A little bit of breeze in the air. You can feel that the air temperature's dropped a little bit, which will please some of the engines in these cars, sucking that cooler air. Got the A40 AMG coming up next. Four-wheel drive system, so let's see how quickly you can get from the middle to the top. Here we go. Very nicely done too. Believe it or not, that car has probably got the most people in it than any of our cars here. That was full 5 up, that was. There's 5 people in that, and it still moved as if it was a single-seater. Brilliant. Next up then, we should have our V-Storm. V-formation, 3 people, much like the old McLaren F1. We have red flags out again, we're just checking the track there. We don't want anything on the track. Don't want to cause any damage to the cars, but of course we don't want it flicking up and going into any of you either. So nice and clear now, the checker flag drops, flag 4 Subaru engine. Sound Off in previous years, recorded some of the highest decibels that we've had here. Shifting a bit early, so I wonder if the engine's having a bit of fun there. But speaking of fun, this is probably one of the most fun cars you can take on track. Sucking the air in under its own induction. They're looking over, Sophie's smiling, which means we can welcome the next car. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for this. Huge amount of engine in the front of this car. And exhaust poking out the side, so you'll get all of the noise. That's what we like to see, lighting up those rear wheels as well. Now the yesterday, unfortunately we couldn't really let it loose because, well, it was so wet out there that we had to do parade laps. It's not wet at all here today, it's nice and dry, so we can see exactly what the M12 GTO can. The turbo on there. The car has its engine mounted right in the middle, whereas the Porsche here has it almost over the rear axle. Design they have kept to for pretty much since they started making cars. I think he's probably got one of the best plates here. Seeing this for over a month. When I heard that this was coming, I couldn't believe it. This is a Vanquish shooting brake. This car, when it was new, cost more than £750,000. time it runs out of pump. That one's actually been signed by Zagato and is one of just 99 builds. Speaking of rare beasts indeed, have a look at this Jaguar that's here with us now. 5-litre supercharged V8. That is the fastest four-door around the Nürburgring. Just 220 of those were built. It's meant to be in the region of about 300, but they only did about 200. Might look like the humble Jaguar XE if you're wincing at it, but actually that cost £150,000 because it can go 200 miles an hour. Now I'm looking down and I can see the next batch of cars is getting even more exotic for you. Yeah, the howls and the screams coming from the engines as they are brought to the holding area. Red flags are holding us for a minute, so we get the all clear on track. Red flags are away, the checker flag drops, and let's have our first car back. Driver there missing the central stop unfortunately, but getting plenty of speed through the run there. Next up then, we move from America back to England here, the Noble M12 GTO. Appeared almost out of nowhere, this car immediately went down in the box as legendary. I don't know what it is, but I do love the sound of a turbo, especially going through that dump valve, absolutely glorious. Right then, let's move the engine a bit further back. Let's put it right over the rear wheels, and we'll have those cylinders in a flat formation for our Porsche. That was a very good run there by the Porsche GT3, absolutely perfect. The Porsches have a reputation here at Beaulieu for always getting traction. It doesn't matter which one it is, they always get traction. Yesterday was no exaggeration to that. And next up we have the 1 of 99. Just look at this beautiful thing. Looking down, I can see the fastest four-door saloon to ever lap the Nürburgring. Here it comes. A supercharged V8. Might look like a family car, but you'll be going 0 to 60 in about 3 and a bit seconds in that. Here's an interesting thing I wasn't expecting to say. Will the owner and driver of the Ferrari 250, your alarm's going off on the Supercar lawn. You're the owner and driver? Oh, I'll go check that. Anyway, let's get back to track action here. GT4 RS. Nicely done now. I recently found out that one of Porsche's philosophies is that to stop twice as fast as you can do. Not easy with the way weights of cars are going up now. F-Type has been with us for about 10 years now, believe it or not. It's actually come to the end of its life. This is one of the very latest. Lovely bar from the exhaust there. Next up, we have this morning. You will have About 10 years ago, we were getting car styling just right. Almost a bit ahead of our time. Now, originally this was 360 horsepower. This one, 421. 0 to 60 in just 3.6 seconds, even though it's only got a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine. I dare say that you will certainly see this driver, but you will also absolutely hear him. I'm sure that everybody at the top of the hill knows you here. I'm sure people at the bottom of the hill can hear you too. Here we go. Almost getting into third gear. That'll be the first car to get into third gear here this weekend. Lovely rev from that main turn. Oh, perfect. Did really well there. Now we're going from 10 cylinders. You can hear the shrill of that V10 to the thunder of the V8. When it first appeared, we've got a couple of special advantages coming up, and I think we need to have a review as well. Now, your last chance, ladies and gentlemen, to get a seat as a passenger in one of the cars here this weekend is coming up this afternoon. You need to head over to the Sporting Bears marquee where you can buy a raffle ticket. There are 7 seats available, so please make sure you go over there. All of the money raised by Sporting Bears this weekend goes directly to charity. They're completely run by volunteers, so please do go over there. They are in that yellow marquee. They've also got a brilliant collection of cars with them, and these owners aren't afraid to use them, and they do use them to raise money for charity. So if you want to be a passenger for one of the cars this weekend, head over to Sporting Bears. It is your last opportunity in the demo run this afternoon. Coming up for you at 4 PM, we have our sound off, but first, back to the track. Getting through the gears so quickly and hard on the brakes as well. Don't forget, Porsche say they should be able to stop twice as fast as they can accelerate. Certainly looked like it there. Some shrills coming from the top of the hill here. Can't wait to see what's coming up, but first let's keep looking at the track here. Many moons ago I was working for Autocar. I was actually lucky enough to take one of the very first F-Types to the middle of Wales for an exclusive photo shoot we had with it. It was one of the best weeks' work I have done. Very fond of that car, as I'm of this, the BMW i8. Petrol and electric working together, and the owner here has tuned this one to get even more power out of it. Might only have a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine that you might otherwise find in the Mini, but it's still fast to 60. Next then we keep up with our Lamborghini. I think that is the first time I have seen a car accelerate and the nose not dip between gear changes. That's how quick it was changing gear. The flag then remains in front of our plucky Brits there. Our baby Aston Vantage. You heard the shrill of the V10, now let's hear the thunder of the V8. the advantage, even though it might be getting on a little bit now. Next then, we move to Lotus. We're keeping it British, but we're moving that engine from the front to the middle, keeping the weight down as well. Now, with a sound like that, that should definitely be in Sound Off, which is coming up at 4 o'clock for you this afternoon. Expecting a sound like that out of the back of that. However, I am expecting good things from this. Our Lamborghinis are doing exceptionally well this weekend. I have no doubt that we're going to have another brilliant run here. That was sufficient. I wasn't expecting that from Taycan Turbo. Now, you're not going to hear this, and if you blink, you're not going to see it either. Ready? Watch how fast this moves. Absolutely formidable. I was in one of those earlier this week and experienced that thrust of acceleration for the first time. It is mind-boggling how quick it accelerates. Speaking of mind-boggling, this. Just wait until you hear this. I mean, it already sounds fantastic. It looks like something out of Batman, that dark grey, black and bright yellow details. Here we go. Crackle there, sounds like a fire knife going down our main straight there. Sound Off later. As you can tell, our driver's not shy. Heading down there as it just gets fantastic. We've still got one more batch of cars for you to come, ladies and gents, but before they join us, we need to get that last batch back up our hill here. So they're being regrouped at the bottom of Palace House. Now, at the bottom of that hill, you've got two separate displays. You've got the lawn outside the front of the house, and for the first time ever, and I'm not joking, it is the first time we've ever opened up the private lawn at the rear of the house, where we've got hypercar royalty down there. Koenigsegg, Bugatti, they're all there. Our Lotus isn't shy. Get your hearing in for the last car in this run. That Ferrari sounded absolutely formidable. Next, we move from England over to Italy, of course, the home of the supercar. Hard on the brakes, you can hear the ABS working now. If that had been a TBI, modern Lamborghinis are designed to enable the drivers to enjoy them pretty much every day if they wanted. Speaking of every day, you could genuinely drive one of these every day, and I'm sure it puts a smile on your face every day. You won't hear this car blink, you won't see it. It is one of the quickest cars we've got here. Look at last straight there. 680 horsepower from 2 electric motors in that car. Now with this one, you don't even need to be looking to hear this, you'll actually hear it from the other side of the museum. Really hunkered down that. Is that Batman driving that? Look like Batman to me, that then. Next up then, we have our Ferrari. When the driver said to me in the briefing earlier, I've done something to the exhaust, I didn't realise it meant he took it off. Hard on the brakes, you can hear that bell. Outside of Beaulieu and all the events I do throughout the year, I do quite a bit of work with Ferrari and have been around their XX programs. That car is louder than their XX program cars. Coming up then, yeah, really is. Keeping it with the UK, we're going to have a look and see what our Lotus can do here. From that 3.5 litre V6 in the middle of the car. I did ask that one. Not tried yet. Now, if there's one car that you could not smile in, I mean, how can you not smile in a Ferrari? It is, the sun is shining, the roof is down, the engine's there. Sound it is too. Now we move from Italy, we go to the UK, we go to and this is our long tail Spider, 666 horsepower. 3.8 litre twin turbo V8. Now then, ladies and gents, always willing to put on our good show. It is Jetta. This is number 98 of 98. To give you an idea of how dedicated this driver is, yesterday he had a mechanical problem. He nursed the car all the way back to Didcot last night, fixed it and drove it back here today. Didn't trailer it, drove it. And he did it. Driver 8, hard on the brakes. And our driver here doesn't actually own this. He doesn't know what engine's in it. You claim it's a 5.4, but I've ever checked it. And it sounds something decent. It sounds something different there. But let's see. We don't care what the size of the engine is. We care how much power it's got. So, let's see what you can do. That's what you can do. I don't care what the size of the engine is in that. Right then, let's regroup them back together. Don't forget, ladies and gents, coming up for you still this afternoon at 2 PM we have our interview with racing driver Gus Burton. At 3 o'clock we have our third and final demonstration run of the day, and at 4 PM the Supercar Sound Off. I've just been told come on to that in a minute. Okay. So, coming up then, we've got one more car in doing a run of his own, apparently. But first we need to bring all of these back up. So I'm looking down there and I can see that we have got our Ferrari next. The checkered flag holds it at bay. Checkered flag drops, that V8 howling away. Just listen to the difference between this car and the car that follows, that Ferrari and the McLaren. That naturally aspirated V8, that glorious howl as it climbs through the rev range. Next then, it's still a V8, but this one's got turbo strapped to it. Have a listen to that different sound. Hard on the brakes, so it's for a Volcano Orange MC12. And this our long-tail Spider coming back up the hill. Very well done indeed. Now the driver of this car genuinely had mechanical issues yesterday, drove it all the way back home to Oxfordshire to fix them yesterday, and then drove it back here for us today to do this. Hard on the brakes. I think he's dropped them or something. Maybe he's done it so many times he's trying to get them round. You know, those tyres are beginning to look like 20 pence pieces. And finally then, we have the Thunder of our Ford Mustang. Now this was a late replacement after the twin turbo Mustang delaminated its rear tyres. Spares, but sounds absolutely glorious as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, have you heard about the new Ford Mustang? Have you heard about the Dark Horse? Well, here it is, the new Dark Horse. And not only do we have the Mustang Dark Horse with us, but let me see if I can put this window down. Nope, he won't respond. The STIG, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. You know, Sophie, holding the STIG up is not a good idea. Well done, STIG, that is the longest number 11 we've had here. And we certainly didn't tell Ford we were going to do that with it. I'm sure they won't mind. Do you want to see him again, ladies and gents? Alright then, come on, STIG, come back. Here, STIG. Come on, STIG. Good boy, good girl, or whatever you are. Come on, STIG. Yep, that's well behaved as my dog. Come on, come here, STIG. There he is. He's back, ladies and gents. Please put your hands together for the STIG. Together. It's the STIG! Are you having a good day, STIG? Yes. Yes, I reckon he is. He happy sitting. Oh, he's going to go again. Can we have another number 11? Please, Stick. Come on, we'll make some noise for you, Stick. Come on, ladies and gents, help me here. Come on, cheer him on. Come on. Do number 11 all the way to the car park. Come on, Stick. You can do it. Together for the STIG and the Ford Mustang Dark Horse.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Gus Burton. Gus, how are you?
Oh, fabulous. Better than yesterday, a bit drier.
Oh, yesterday? Wasn't it just awful yesterday?
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Every time I took my coat off, it started raining again. So, yeah.
When we were doing this interview yesterday, halfway through, as we were playing BT, we had to get the coat on quickly because it was just like hammering down out of nowhere.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but better today.
We've got glorious blue skies, and I did say, well, there's only going to be a couple of clouds in the sky. Did you see the size of the clouds of smoke coming off the Mustangs there?
Yeah, I couldn't quite match it in Newcastle, and I'm sure that don't leave the two tweets with me, but yeah, no, they wouldn't let me take the Porsche up the hill today, but there's some insurance problems.
Right, yeah, well, you wouldn't want to lose a race because you stuffed it on our demonstration. Yeah. So, just to start us off, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into motor racing?
Well, I'm Gus Burton, 20-year-old racing driver, currently racing a Porsche Supercar in Europe. We're a sport racer for Formula 1, so we just got back from Belgium, and I'm now racing in Carrera Cup GB as well, which supports the touring cars, so I'll be in Knockhill next week in the Porsche Carrera Cup car.
Great crack, you've done Knockhill before, obviously.
Yeah, I did it last year, I was pole sitter and winner, so first win of the season was last year at Knockhill, so I'm feeling good.
Fantastic. Confident to do that again this year?
That's the plan, yeah.
Good man, good man. So, what would you say of your racing career? We'll delve into your racing career a little bit more in a minute, but say the last couple of years, what's been your highlight so far?
I think, well, again, winning's good. I think those are always the highlights. I won British GT when I was 18, which ultimately led me to the sponsor that led me into Porsche. So I think that's got to be one of the highlights of my career, and just the progression to where I am now it's been quite steep uphill in the last, say, 3 years with British GT, Carrera Cup GB, which I never thought I'd be doing, and then very last minute I'm racing on the Formula 1 weekends in a Porsche Carrera Cup car. So yeah, I need to pinch myself a bit sometimes to realise why I'm here, be very grateful for why I'm here.
Right, the car then, let's talk about the car. Obviously, your main focus is getting it from the start line to the finish line as quickly as possible in one piece ahead of everybody else. But can you talk to me a little bit about the car?
I can a little bit, I don't know too much, but basically it's a purpose-built Porsche 911 992. You could sort of compare it to like a Porsche GT3 RS, but race spec basically. It's got 500 horsepower, it weighs 1,200 or 1,300 kg. 0 to 60 is dependent on me, because we've got a clutch in there and a sequential gearbox, so a good, really good start for me is about 3.3 seconds, and an average one is about 3.6.
Wow, I like this. So it's literally that 0.3 of a second, but that could mean the difference for a few races.
Yeah, well, it's also the few tenths of reaction time as well to the lights can make a difference of a few car lengths by the time you have arrived at turn one, because it makes a small difference at the start when you first pull off, but then once you're up to speed, you know, I'm doing 60 and the other guy's doing 55 or whatever, which makes a big difference.
Yeah, of course. Now, that's on track, that's, you know, you in action. What does the rest of the week look like? What does the rest of the time look like?
A lot more boring, to be honest. It tends to be, you know, it's working with sponsors who are ultimately the reason why I can do this and why I'm here. A lot of my time goes into simulator racing, so take the last simulator training mainly, but if you take the last 6 weeks for context, we've literally had back-to-back 6 different countries, 6 different race weekends. So I'll fly back on Sunday, train Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and fly back out on Thursday. So it's been super busy. I've got a little break now before Knockhill. But yeah, to be honest, it's not that exciting. And it's a sport where all the boring stuff, it adds up. You know, the simulator training, whether it's mindfulness or fitness or whatever, they'll give you the slightest advantage. It's 0.5% or 1% advantage, but it's not like football or rugby. You can't go in your back garden and, you know, get fitter in the gym, and that directly correlates to how much faster you get as a driver, or, you know, practice your skills in the back garden. So you can't just take, unfortunately, you can't take the portions to the back garden. So, and it's rather expensive to take it to a racetrack. So most of my training is done by simulator, visualization, preparing for a race weekend, whatever it will be, to make sure that I can perform as best as I can.
Yeah, I wish you were here for some of my other events, because one of the things I have to do is help, you know, there's a trend now for people to leave events and give it noise as they're going out. Of course, New Forest, public roads, it's not the place to do it. I wish I could hear, like, from a professional like yourself, like, public roads are not the place to practice racing, absolutely not. But you practice at is it iZone Driving Performance Centre? It's at Silverstone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's basically Silverstone. It's basically like our gym. So it's got 4, 5, 6 simulators in there. 3 massive ones with different, like, single-seater ones and GT simulators and all that stuff. And the purpose of it is basically like a school for drivers. Like, we get the best. We got guys in Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 4, Porsche. You know, WEC drivers in GT racing, so we've got a really broad, you know, array of drivers there to go also head to head against that we can compete with on the simulator. I'll go in his Formula 3 car and try and beat him. He'll go in the Porsche and not Hill, which is slightly different.
This isn't training. Don't tell me this is training. This is you having a laugh.
No, but it's, you know, your ego's on the line anyway, so you've got to make sure you win.
No, I'm joking with you. Of course, you have to push. And what better way than, you know, trying to push yourself than having someone who could potentially, you know, beat you on track. You don't want to ever be beaten.
No, that's the main aim. I think in racing as well, you get lots of bad luck. You get lots of things you can't control. So you have to try and control everything that's in your control in order to get the best out of yourself. If the car goes wrong, or if someone else makes a mistake, you can't do anything about it. But when the win is there, you need to take it.
Absolutely. And of course, there's only one winning position per race. And there's how many people on that group with you?
In Porsche Supercup, sometimes 36. And, you know, they're all the best. Porsche Supercup is the best drivers from each Carrera Cup. So there's Carrera Cup GB, there's Carrera Cup of North America, there's Germany, there's Australia. All the winners from these championships end up in Porsche Supercup. So it is literally the Formula 1 of Porsche racing. Everyone is great and everyone has the same car. So it's just uber competitive.
I can imagine. Now, we talked about the rest of your week. You do things have to do, you know, managing partners such as FU Mutual, who are here with us this weekend as well. Can you tell us a little bit how that works and how you go about finding sponsors?
Well, I'd say, you know, the sponsors, it comes with relationships and, you know, being at events like this, meeting people. The only reason I'm in Porsches today is because I was at a track day and bumped into a guy that wanted some help with his Bentley, and then he was like, oh, do you want to drive it? I was like, yeah. And then, you know, I think I gave him the time of his life on the racetrack, and then we came back in and he said, well, what are you doing next year? And I was like, well, I don't know. I just won British GT. I was promised something from BMW that didn't come through, which I was prepared for, but then he was like, do you want to race Porsches? And I was like, yeah, I do want to race Porsches, but he introduced me to that, and then another sponsor introduced me into Supercup, and here I am. So it's a lot of, you make your own luck, but there's some luck involved. You've got to be good with people, obviously, and, you know, you need to offer value as well and make them understand that racing is a great thing to invest in. It's coming back into a golden age. People are watching F1, Drive to Survive, Le Mans, whatever it will be, and it's a great way to expose your business.
I suppose with the sponsors as well, they want to see sponsors on a winning car at the front of the pack. They don't want to see it embedded into the walls. I mean, inevitably it goes wrong at some point.
Yeah.
It's racing, right? Most sport is dangerous. Now, where are we going to see your certain racing in the future? What are your aspirations?
My aspirations are basically your Le Mans and World Endurance Championship stuff, so like the Le Mans 24 hour. But the next 2 years I want to stay in Supercup. I want to, you know, cut my teeth, get good, basically, be at the front, and bring home a championship in that, and that will bring factory interest because it's such a high level. So yeah, that's the plan for the next few years.
And there's loads of youngsters around here now that are looking up to you, admiring you. What's your advice to them?
Oh, just if you have a dream, stick to it. I didn't think I'd be here, and here I am. So yeah, there's going to be hurdles along the way, 100%. It definitely wasn't smooth sailing throughout my whole career. I think racing is one of the most volatile sports, emotionally and results-wise. Like I said, last year was really tough for me at the start of the season, but yeah, push through it, keep going with your dreams and don't give up.
Now, you definitely jinxed us. I said we won't have any rain here today. He said, as soon as I take my coat off, it starts raining. We've got 2 last questions. I'll try and get through it before we do get completely drenched. You do some work with the Sparkle Foundation. You're an ambassador for the Sparkle Foundation. What is your role?
My role, it was as essentially a fundraiser. I'm now raising awareness for the charity and going to events, etc. But my dad's also a trustee of the charity. But the charity itself is a day centre based in Malawi, a day centre for young orphans and children in Africa in Malawi only at the moment. Just a place where they can go during the day to get fed, to get have some fun with their friends, get educated as well. And back in 2018, all my sponsorship money used to go to the charity, so we did 2 years of that and raised almost £50,000 to the charity. And that goes such a long way in Malawi. It'll get you basically nothing in the UK, but in Malawi, it built 2 classrooms. I think it was toilets, sanitary stuff, and yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's incredibly moving to go there and humbling as well.
I was going to say, you've been out there and seen it firsthand. I bet when you think back to then and back there, compare it to when you stood in the pits, it's just almost a different planet.
Yeah, it's a completely different planet, and my complaints and whatever when I'm racing, I mean, racing in itself is a privilege. I think being in the UK is a privilege in itself. So yeah, going out there, seeing them so happy to just be holding a pen and some paper, or making paper airplanes, or learning the alphabet it is moving, and it's nice to see that change happening in Malawi. It's such a poverty-stricken country, and yeah, that's what Sparkle's trying to do, is trying to help them as much as possible, is trying to educate them so that they can go on to start their own businesses and take them out of the poverty. So
fantastic. So last question to you. Every time you point the camera at us, it starts raining. It even came over earlier when you were in that Aston. How can you follow your progress then? Are you racing on TV web?
So in Carrera Cup GB, which is next week, the one in Uphill, you can watch me. Everything's quite brothers flying around. You can watch me on ITV4. It's a support race for the British Touring Cars, and you can follow me at Gustav Burton on Instagram to get all the timings and stuff like that. And Porsche Super Cup, which is the next one's on Zandvoort and Monza, we're always just before the F1. It's on Sky Sports F1. Yeah, give it a watch, give me a follow on Instagram.
Nice, that's brilliant. Gus, I'm going to shake my hand, sir. It's been a pleasure meeting you this week.
A Contera MD1, 2.5 litre, straight 6, twin turbo in this. Can run up to 700 horsepower, triple seated, just like the McLaren F1. Sounds great, that lovely turbo noise from there. First time I've ever seen one in the flesh, certainly first time I've ever seen one here at the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit more familiar. Our Aston Martin here. Roof up, because we did have a little bit of rain. Vanquish S here. At V12 burbling away at the front, all the power to the rear wheels, and away we go. We're a lovely burble as well. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Mark on escort, excellent. Someone's asking for a burnout, you've got no chance. This is actually a charged. Let's see what it can do. If you close your eyes, you would have thought that was a Subaru. It is actually a Subaru underneath there, even though on top it is a Escort. Keeping with the Ford, this one also four-wheel drive, but this has 680 brake horsepower. This was actually one of the test mules for the Focus RS. 5 of those built, only 2 remain. This is one of them. And it's still used for a great cause. This Sport Sport weekend. Now this is one of GT4 race car, still got that 3.8 litre V8 twin turbo in there, but full race specification. Hear the snarl coming from that even more, and now the Cobra. Exhaust pointed towards you, ladies and gents, so you're going to get a fantastic noise, and Sophie here might just get a new suntan. I like the way you use the flag there, Sophie, just to protect yourself. So the Cobra, some of you might not realise, but actually the Cobra started out as the 88. It was a very lightweight sports car. And then of course the Mr. Shelby Cobra came along, dropped an enormous bit in front of it and made the legendary 8-seat Cobra. Most of them that you see around today are indeed the replicas. There's many replicas out there. Of course the original AC Cobras go for an absolute stung now. There's an old one that goes with the AC Cobra. It's quite a funny one actually. When they were selling it new in the dealerships, apparently the dealers were told to keep a brand new $100 bill in their wallets. They were to take a potential customer out to the middle of nowhere and put the money on the dashboard. They would then turn to the passenger and say, if you can lift your arms and get that bill off the dashboard before I reach 100 miles an hour, you can have it. Not one dealer lost their money. That's how much power that car's got. Anyway, let's go back and bring our cars back up. Into that straight 6 engine, sounds absolutely wonderful as well, the Contrara. 3-seater as well, just like you would see in the McLaren F1, speaking of Brits, the Aston Martin Vanquish S. This is very much sort of the last of the naturally aspirated Astons.
It's going to take me about 3 hours. How long does it take me getting ready for here? Yes. Well, Reading's an hour from me, so it's going to be 2 hours.
Of course, there's lots of different ways of making power and noise using internal combustion. You can have more cylinders, you can put them in a V formation, flat formation, straight formation, you can put turbo superchargers on there to force the air and fuel into the combustion chambers at ever higher pressures to get more power out of. That was a naturally aspirated engine there. This is forced induction. So even though that car looks much older and much more boxy, it's got a much smaller engine as well, 2 litres and 4 cylinders. Sounds absolutely wonderful. Might be a Mark 1 Escort on top, but underneath it is a Subaru Impreza. Was in our sound off yesterday, so a brilliant show. Always putting on a great show is the owner of our Focus RS here, 2.3 litres, again with forced induction, but this has had the dial turned all the way up to 680 brake horsepower. The checkered flag there, waving in front of the nose of our Ford Focus RS. Huge lineage and heritage in that RS badge, looking up our main straight here at Beaulieu. The driver there with his passengers who won their seats thanks to Sporting Bears, raising money for charity. The flag drops and away we go. Hard on the brakes and coming to a stop. With the turbo just whistling away indeed. Now we go to a real race car here. This is part of the Brook speed display. 3.8 litres in the back of this McLaren, 8 cylinders and V formation. You can see just how quickly the race car as well. Yeah, those turbos spooling down so slowly, just keeping the boost there.
I thought this was the last one. This one.
And finally, the Cobra. Now that Cobra has actually got a slightly larger engine than the McLaren that went up before it. That one, 5.7 litres in the front of it. All naturally aspirated. We're keeping with the V8. We're going back to McLaren here, but this is very much one of the road cars. As you can see, it looks almost identical. Speed. Yes, please, we'll have some of that. Looks like there's roles reversed here, because usually it's Sophie giving out the instructions, but here's Charlotte having some stern words with our driver here. Hello there, Lotus. Come on over if there was ever a car for the track. To put a smile on your face, it is this. Now, have a look at the difference between these two cars. If the Lotus is lightweight, this is heavyweight. This, believe it or not, won the Sound Off hands down yesterday. It was the loudest, and it was... I do believe I've just burst. This car. It is our Weissman 4.8 litre V8. It's actually got a BMW unit in front of this, but just look at the body. That BMW V8 sounding beautiful as well. Now let's take a couple of zippers down, we'll put them in a flat formation, and then we'll drape the beautiful body of the Spider over the top of it. The predecessor to this car could actually go faster with the roof off than it could with it on. Interestingly, usually it's the other way around.
Yes.
Two management system there, just managing to hold all of that down. It's got the full 4-litre flat 6 at the back of that, 414 horsepower. Top speed of that, you'll be nudging 190 mile an hour. Imagine doing 190 with the roof down in that. I didn't want to. I'd have even less hair than what I've got now. Now to give you a little sneak peek of what's coming up next, we've got, I can see at least one Italian, I can see an American, and I can see a Brit. V12, V8, I do believe we've got another V12. Coming straight back up the straight then is our McLaren, our first of the V8s, come back up and join us. Now we're going to go down the scale a little bit with the Lotus, not necessarily in terms of speed, but certainly in terms of the weight and power output, but that doesn't mean it's any slower. This being number 6, so there's plenty of rubber left, especially after the STIG decided to leave all of the tread from the Dark Horse Mustang down our main straight. Now this Mustang was our Sound Off winner. loudest yesterday, but it also got the loudest cheer from everybody here. I'm interested to find out what you are going to cheer for today, ladies and gents, because we've got Gus Burton's race car in the sound off at 4 o'clock. V8 in the front of our Weissman, sounding glorious there. Such a beautiful body, probably the only one on the road in the UK. And speaking of beauty, when I first saw this on the demonstration run yesterday morning, I thought that's really pretty, and if anything, this is probably one of the favourite cars here for me this weekend. It is our Spider. For me, that car packs such a good package. Flat 6, 4 litres in the back there, and a beautiful body. Just the details on it are exquisite. Speaking of details, Lamborghini. We're starting with an almighty V12. Just opening the tank, skips straight round to 3,000 RPM. The wheels get the traction, and then it moves straight up. America. We know the Americans like to do things big, so let's see what our V8 can do here. Something glorious to now. You might say that could not be used in any way to describe the beauty that is this Aston Martin. Aston Martins now are using AMG power plants, but that one's got some very clever aero, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. First though, I want to get our Porsche down the main straight here. This one is the very potent 911 Turbo S. Now Porsches have a reputation here at Beaulieu. It's called grip and go. They don't mess around. Look at that launch actually saw all 4 wheels move independently there, scrabbling for the grip, finding it and putting all that power down. Next up we have the 720S McLaren, where the engine's over the rear axle in the Porsche. This is right in the middle of the car. That V8 literally inches from the driver's back. Of that forced induction V8 right in the heart of the car there. And even the rear spoiler popping up there, the air brake activating as we go down to the bottom of the hill. Now, that Aston Martin that you saw go down the run in the middle there, it's got some very clever aero on that car. Have a look and see if you can spot the spoiler. I guarantee you won't see it because it is completely invisible. Air is taken in just in front of the rear windows. You'll be able to see these tiny little vents. It's then directed underneath the body, around the back of the boot, and then it literally gets forced up vertical out the back of the car, and the air flowing over the body also interacts with it to create an invisible spoiler. It's something a Porsche tried to do for years, but I still did it. And our beautiful V12 Lamborghini coming back. They just have so much presence, the Lamborghinis. Even when they're going along that walking pace, you can't help but look. Another car that you're not likely to miss is our Camaro here. Lamborghini had a 6.5 litre V12. This has nearly the same size at 6.2 litres, but it's only got 8 cylinders, so 4 cylinders less, but almost the same displacement. This is our Aston Martin with the very clever aero, that invisible spoiler. Styling inspired by the 177 hypercar, that £1 million, one of 77 built. You had one of those here earlier this year actually at Simply Aston, so if you like your supercars and can't wait for Supercar 2024, come over and join us in April for Simply Aston Martin. And now our Turbo S. Just watch the relationship between the wheels and the road. See how it literally finds that from almost nowhere, puts all the power down, and you literally are where you want to be in the blink of an eye. Engine still over the rear axle, of course, in the Porsche, whereas in the McLaren, it's just behind the driver. And up goes the aero brake, you can see that just popping its tail up behind. That sunrise orange paint, matching the lovely sun that we've got coming out and joining us. And then we're going to take a little trip down memory lane with our next car. Have you actually just taken a dog bed out of the NSX? I know you think I'm joking, I'm not. He's actually taken a dog bed out of the NSX. Did you not want to sit in the dog bed? I was going to say, he didn't fancy sitting in the dog bed. So this is our Honda NSX, a tribute to the legend that is Ayrton Senna. 3 litre V6. Now didn't that sound good, ladies and gents? Sorry, your brain's ringing. My eyeballs are still shaking. Next up then, we have our Lamborghini. I love the fact this driver's just had a telephone call. I'll have to ring you back, I'm about to do a demo run. Keeping a close eye on the tack here, let's see what our driver can do. Snaps right round to 3,000 RPM, getting the grip, and away we go. And one. GT4 race car. There's nothing in this than what is absolutely necessary. 3.4 litre, flat 6, it's full race specification. And sounding glorious tune. Make sure you join us for the Sound Off, where we have got, I do believe, Gus Burton's race Porsche. Now this is rather special. It is our Jaguar Project 7, 5 litre V8 with a supercharger for good measure. 600 horsepower, you're about to see 3.3 seconds to 60. Control there, kicking in and just holding and couldn't quite get all the power down, but let's see. Happier now. And speaking of happy, are you in your happy place there, sir? Are you in your happy place? Yes, I thought you might be. Me too. 5 litre Coyote V8. Let's see what it can do. Do you remember that when they first said Mustang was coming back to the UK that you could get it with the same engine that was in that Focus RS, you could get an EcoBoost Mustang? How could you go into a Ford dealership and go, oh well actually no, I won't have the V8, I'll go for the 2.3 EcoBoost. Sure, it was a great car. Mustang we had earlier, which has literally delaminated its tyres, and he's now having to try and explain to the RAC why he needs a lift home, not to create a cloud of smoke that lasts for about 3 months. And I've just turned to my left, and I am looking at one of the prettiest things I have seen in such a long time. Of course, I was giving you a compliment as well there, Charlotte, but you are right, it is indeed the Aston Martin that sat right behind you. The flag drops there, we're bringing the NSX back on first. NSX has taken part in our sounds off in previous years. Decibels in our sound offs. It's always done really well, and our driver not scared of using it. He's hugely enthusiastic about that car, which is what we need to keep these cars alive, future generations to enjoy. So the NSX had 6 cylinders, this Lamborghini has 12. Range though, and sounding glorious on the overrun as well. That is certainly no pop and crackle, man. There's nothing fake about that at all. Speaking about nothing fake, let's have a look at our race car coming back up here. This is part of Brooks Speed, who've been supporting the show this year.
Tim was doing that, right?
Wondering now, did our driver just miss his spray point, or is he just coasting down nice and gently for the second half there? 3.4 litre flat 6 right over the rear wheels, giving loads of traction. Now let's go back to our very special Project 7 here. .600 horsepower from that 5 litre supercharged V8. Fin that you can see over the top takes its inspiration from Jaguars of old, the old D-types and so forth. Such a pretty thing indeed.
Last one coming up, I think.
Next up then we have 5 litres of American V8 muscle in our Ford Mustang. Now he did a cheeky burnout on the way down. Will he do another? Well, that's down to you, ladies and gents. Need a bit of encouragement. See if you'll do one for us. So the burnout on the way down was glorious. can still see the rubber left from the STIG earlier, who managed to do a number 11 up the entire straight earlier. Looking down towards the bottom of the track, that was our final car, so now let's get our next batch, shall we? And we start with what I think is one of the prettiest cars to ever go into production. Just look at the glory that is the DBS. I spend a lot of my life around cars, but that car, when I look at it, it really genuinely stirs something in my heart. I adore that thing. It's glorious. This, however, does something quite different. It more rattles my heart into a million pieces. Ladies and gents, you can see that as well. He genuinely picked that up on Friday. He's meant to be running it in. Yeah, when he goes back for the first service, have you kept it below 5,000 RPM, sir? Yes, absolutely not. So let's keep with the V10, shall we? But we'll take the roof off and see what our Audi R8 V10 can do here. Those two cars are in fact almost sisters. There's a trend going on here because we've got another V10 to come join us. Do you like the sound of the V10s, ladies and gents? Unfortunately, I couldn't hear your response because I was enjoying that. This car was at home yesterday. But it didn't stop. Having some tremendous fun on the track. Now, just because it's drier doesn't mean that you can go faster, Mr. Stratos. Here we go. Whoa, send a turbo flutter there. Look at that sound. Oh, she's running well today. I do believe that's got a 2.7 litre V6 in it from a Volkswagen that's been turbocharged. Interesting setup, but it obviously works. So coming up next, we have got our sound off. That's coming up at 4 o'clock, but we need to get all of our cars back up the main straight. So let's regroup them and bring them back up. And just a reminder, ladies and gents, if you want to see all of the highlights from today, if you want to see the highlights from yesterday, or indeed any of the previous Supercar weekends, you can watch that on YouTube. Just search for Our Tim. Sorry, ladies and gents, I completely drifted off there. I was just dazed by the beauty of that car. I think it is one of the most gorgeous cars in the world, that. I adore it. Anyway, let's move on from my little love fantasy there. Let's have something a bit more exciting, shall we? The first of our V10s. Absolutely super, very quick 60, but actually all the aero on that actually starts to tone down the top speed on that. It's not as fast as some of its stablemates. Speaking of one of its stablemates, the Audi R8 V10 is all lined up. The checkered flag is the only thing holding it back, and that's just disappeared. to get into third gear up that, and that is no mean feat because it gets up to that speed very quickly indeed. Gives you an idea of the pace of that car. Let's see if Lamborghini's rendition of it can match that. All down to you, our driver. Checkered flag is the only thing holding you back as soon as that drops, as it just has. Almost a yes, just nudged into third. Right off the rev limiter in first gear. That's what we like to see, ladies and gents. Absolutely glorious. And next we have our Stratos. Now this made a beautiful noise on the way down. Let's see if we can have another bout of turbo flutter, shall we?
Your fault.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you trackside, can I please ask you to put your hands together for all of our owners and owners who take part in our supercar demonstration rings this weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please ask you to put your hands together for our Supercar Sound Off? You guys have been fantastic all week, I have to say. You've been brilliant today. And we have got a real collection of cars here with us. I know none of you can hear me right now, it's so loud. We've got to get these cars warmed up. So right behind you. Right then. We'll start with a few introductions. Now, Les. This is number 98 of 98. We've got a Rover V8 in the front, and you took this all the way back to Oxfordshire to fix it.
Of course. the hardest thing, because I couldn't stop it, was getting home without running out of fuel. Ran out of fuel, restarted.
Well, it's here now, so we've got a V8. I'm going to have to try and control them, aren't I? Hang on a second, boys. Hang on. Let me try and introduce you all first. Yeah. Oh, it's him. It's him. I have got like a really loud PA system. No one can hear. No one. Right. Hopefully some of you can hear me now. I'm going to try and introduce you to all of the cars before we start. So they also do need to warm themselves up. So Ginetta down here has got our Rover V8 in there. Gus is here with us. Hello again, Gus. How are you? You well?
Can't hear anything.
Neither can I. Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. So we've got a flat 6 in there. Our Aston Martin V8 Thunder in this.
V8 4.7S. But we'll give him the trophy now.
Okay, well we'll see. We will see how loud you get. Remember, with this we're actually looking for two things. We are looking to see who's loudest. We're going to start with that, and then we're going to find out which one sounds best. Okay. Also a flat 6.
Yeah, flat 6, mate. Yep.
I mean, there's a flat 6 2 down.
He's done well last year.
Yeah, he did do well last year. Well, we'll see how you do this year. Now, this is something very special indeed. What size V8 is in this?
7 litre.
It's a 7 litre V8. Does it have an exhaust?
Straight through.
It's a straight through exhaust. Wow, okay. Okay. I'm going to come over to you next, ZL1 or ZL1 as we say here in the UK. What size have you got here?
6.2 supercharger.
6.2 supercharger. Now the supercharger could be beneficial, but it could also be a bit of a disadvantage. It takes some of that noise away. Just to let you know, that Ultima next to you is a 7 litre V8 straight point.
If I'm scared of any of them, it's going to be that one.
I'm scared of that one, and I'm stood here. Another flat 6. I'll tell you what, it's good to have so many flat 6s because we've had a lot of V8s. We had a V8 versus V8, so maybe flat 6 could win.
Fingers crossed, but it's only a 3.8 naturally aspirated though.
Yeah, but all that air not being forced in, singing out the exhaust, who knows? And then finally, we come on to you. And of course you'd be the awkward one and have your car this side, making me walk a little bit further. 5.4 litre V8.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
About that, roughly. And the exhaust?
Custom, one of a kind, like everything else in the car.
Fantastic. That's what we like to see. Right. Just to let you know, ladies and gents, that Ultima in the middle, I'm not joking, genuinely is a huge engine, and it is pretty much scaffolding between the engine and you. So it will get extremely loud there. If it gets too much, remember to use hands, use like that, cup away from the car. We're going to find out which one is loudest, but first, I think we should hear them. So we'll hear you first. Let's have a little... I'm sorry, guys. You know when you choose a bad place to park? No. Wait your turn. Okay. What do you think, ladies and gents? Pretty good, eh? Yeah? Right then. Nate, come over and join me. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put your hands together for Nate? You're our victim. You know when we said we've got a special job for you today, you were like, yes, this is going to be good. Yeah. Are you regretting that now?
No, not yet.
Okay. When you get to the yellow one in the middle, you might. Right. Okay. This is a decibelometer. It's accurate to 0.1 of a decibel. We're going to find out how loud they are to begin with. So, if you'd like to take your position, you're going to be in the same place for each of them, in the same distance away from them, and we're going to find out how loud they are. Here we go. Let's find out how loud our Ginetta is. If you'd like to take your position. He's smiling. Go on. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear me out there, ladies and gents, but Les, you scored 111.5. Not bad going at all. Now we're going to move on to Gus in his race car. Now, race cars are meant to have limits because of track limits in terms of sound. So we're going to find out how loud you are. Go. Alrighty, so 111.5 is what we need to beat. Alright then, Gus, I'm going to let you know. I know you can't hear me, so I'm going to come right in. Hello. Currently, it's 111.5 to beat. You just hit 122. Wow, that is incredible. So you are our current leader. 122 is what you've got to beat. Alrighty, take it away. Alrighty, 122 is what we're looking to beat. Alright, 122 is what we're looking to beat. You just hit there. 112. 112. But that is a full-on race car, so let's see if 6 cylinders can match it. Come on, let's hear them. Alright, 122 is what we're looking to beat. We started at 111. 111 is what you just hit. Really, 111. Don't worry. Hey, we had a guy here yesterday who was the quietest a few years ago. He went away, spent a tremendous amount of money modifying his car, and he won yesterday. So, what do we need to do? Different fuel, different fuel. Oh, I'm genuinely scared. I am genuinely scared. You need to beat 122 is what you need to beat. I'm going to stay in here with you. Take it away. Oh my lord, that was loud. Okay, are you able to turn it off? Right, everyone, honestly, no one's heard anything I've said so far because this is so loud. Okay, so the record that we'd hit so far was 122. The ultimate. 125. 125. We've had to turn you off so people can hear us. Right, let's see what you can do next. So 125 is what you're looking to beat. Let's hear you. Okay, happy? Yeah, all right, let's have a look. So 125, what we're looking to beat. Okay, 125 is what we're looking to beat. I've got some bad news. It's 102. I'm sorry, that soft limiter held you. Hey, don't worry. There was a Mustang here yesterday, had the exact same problem as you, took the soft limiter off, he won yesterday. There you go. Right then, flat 6. Let's hear it. Alrighty, so 125 is what we're looking to beat here. Alright. 125, what we're looking to beat.
112.
Close. 119. 119, not bad. I'll tell you what, you're 3 decibels less than Gus in his race car. Just 3 decibels off a race car. And finally, we come on to one of the largest engines here, obviously not as large as what we've had earlier, but still large enough. Take it away. So, 125 is what we need to beat. One, 2, 5 is what you need to beat. 1, 2, 1. You were just 4 decibels off. Not bad going. Well done to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the loudest car here, by no surprise, is our Ultima GTR. Please put your hands together for me for the Ultima GTR. So, well done to you. You're the loudest, okay? But it is the crowd. Have we got, Charlotte, do you have the coveted People's Choice Award trophy? Not People's Choice, sorry, the Sound Off trophy. I just want to borrow it. I'm not going to drop this. I'm not going to drop this. This is what you are now in control of, ladies and gents. This is a coveted Sound Off winner. It very much is your choice, ladies and gents. And we're going to find out who sounds best by finding out how loud you all cheer. So, you've all heard them. Before we get started, where are you, Nate? Come join me. I want to find out how loud you are. Let's see if you're louder than our 125 decibel Ultima GTR. So choose a location, wherever you like, Nate. And we're going to warm you all up, ladies and gentlemen, like we warmed up our cars. What I want to do is I want you all to cheer as loud as you can after 3. Can you do that for me? Yep. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, fantastic. Let's see what we did. You scored 100 decibels. That's not bad going, considering that's a stonking great V8 in there. So well done to all you. They were louder than yesterday, though. They were louder than yesterday. The loudest tune we got yesterday, the winner, was 99 decibels. So you've already beat yesterday's crowd. So we're going to go through each of them.
Okay, as I go to them, I want you to cheer as loud as you possibly can. So, if you want the G33 to win, cheer for me now. Okay, okay. If you want the Porsche to win, cheer for me now. Alrighty, we've got a contender here. If you want our Aston to win, cheer for me now. Ooh, okay, okay. I thought it sounded good, but I'm not allowed to cast in both in this. Our next Porsche, if you would like it to win, cheer for me now. Okay, okay. So we've got a clear favourite so far. Let's see what you thought of the Ultimate. Cheer for me now. Okay, okay. If you think the ZL1's won, cheer for me now. Alright, we're down to 2, the race car and the Ultimate. If you think the GT3's won, cheer for me now. And if you think the Mustang's won, cheer for me now. Right, okay, it's between 3 of you. Right, come join me, come on. It's between 3 of you. This is it, ladies and gents. Right. Come on, and you, sir, come on, come join me. And Gus, I know you're comfy, but come on, come join us. Right, we're going to stand here, we're going to do it here. Come on, come join, come down and join, come down and join. You're in good company here. The crowd here believes that your cars all sound the best, okay? I can't work out which one sounds loudest, so it's down to Nathan, it's down to you, ladies and gentlemen. If you think Gus, in his GT3 race car, sounded best, come on, cheer for me now. Okay. If you think the Ultimate sounded best, cheer for me now.
That's better.
And if you think the Mustang sounded best, cheer for me now. Oh, hang on, James, watch out there. Keep on another high vis on. I want you like the Workwear Expressman. Right. Okay. This is it. Gus. You reached 97. Okay. Not bad on this. Forgive me, sir, I don't know you now. I've interviewed him twice. I'm afraid I've only seen you on this. Oh, Max, okay, sorry, I didn't realise. I thought that was the car. You reached 99. Well done. Sorry, Gus. Nice to meet you. If this was yesterday, 99 decibels would have been enough to take home that trophy.
It's too wet.
The question is, did you get allowed to cheer? You got 101.5 decibels. Well done to you. You've got the loudest car and the loudest cheer. Congratulations to you. You are going home with the Sound Off trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for helping me get our winner. It is Ultimate GTR. Can you please also send that call to Gus and also to Max? So much. Well done to you. Well done to you. Congratulations. You are very welcome indeed. Now, before you all go home, would you like one last treat? You know we've got them all sat here. Should we start them all up? Rev them all up together? Would you like that? Alright then, let's do that. So ladies and gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure to be back here with you again for the Beaulieu Supercar Weekend 2023. I really hope you'll come back and join us.